Welcome everybody to JW News tonight with Ruby Quinn, and King Toni. Hello everybody. All right. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to share the link to this live stream to my ex, since it is not gonna go, it's not gonna stream. You gotta unmute yourself.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
There you go. So I think everybody remembers that I tried having a premium X account so that I could live stream all of my shows and everything on X, but I only paid for 1 month. So I just wanted to try it out, see how it would help, if it would get any more views to, our shows and stuff like that. And it was only about like 30 more views, not that much, but potential to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't pay for the next month, but I'm still going to share, the link to this. So let me do that really quickly. I totally forgot.
Yeah, it's only X, not EX. X.
Okay, so I'm going to post it on X just in case people want to click on the link and join us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. All right, I shared it.
Hey, John. Hey, Leonard. Hey, Faded in San Diego. Hey,
Yeah.
Beach.
Nice.
El Paisano Patriot. Welcome.
That's Jesse.
Mira,
Hi, Michelle.
That's Jesse.
Yes, that's Jesse.
Yo, Jesse.
Hey guys, it's Twitter to me. I used to still call it Twitter, and then my dad said, "No, don't call it Twitter because that's when they were censoring us. You call it the new name because we have freedom now." And I said, "You know what? You're right.
You're right.
Elon bought it out and gave us free speech, so technically, I agreed a little bit with it. But now Elon, I don't know, changing stuff up on Twitter."
Let's not get distracted. Let's stay focused.
Word, because this ain't the political show. So if you want to have fun on Tuesday on my channel, Ruby Quinn, and on the XW Political Corner, we will get more political.
Yeah.
But here we are just going to stay focused on JW News. He says, hello, what's new with the JWs? Oh, what's new is they are getting their butts kicked again in a courtroom in Norway.
Whoop ass.
Oh. Yeah, okay, Toni.
I'm sorry.
All right. I'm sorry, everybody.
I forgot.
I'm sorry. You forgot we're doing this for Vern on Vern's channel too.
My apologies. I'm sorry.
Dios mío, my chest hurts. I don't know why my chest hurts. It hurts to laugh. Okay.
I know my hip is killing me.
Yeah. So how's everybody doing tonight? If you are watching, let us know. You are watching in the chat. Let us know how your week went. Oh, happy Valentine's Day. We almost forgot again.
Happy Valentine's
Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. Michelle's gonna keep us grounded. Michelle,
please do.
You better tell us to shut up after the 1 hour mark, because every single time I fill in for Vern, I be here for 2 hours. So you need to remind me to get off the stream at the 1 hour mark. Hey, Jay. Jay's in the chat.
Jay.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day. Do you guys celebrate Valentine's Day? Let's talk about that for a minute, because you guys already know we have a problem with celebrating holidays or remembering to celebrate holidays and to think about ourselves more. We're not used to that. So let me know in the chat if you guys celebrate Valentine's Day. In the meantime, Toni, tell us how your Valentine's Day went.
I completely forgot, and I remember he sent me a message. He's like, "Oh, I'm home." I'm like, "Oh, okay." He got home from work, so I get home, and as soon as I get home, I came from the store, so I'm unpacking everything, and I didn't see it. Still, I didn't see it at all. And he calls me, and I go look behind me because I'm in the kitchen, and he goes, and he's holding it, and he's like this, and I said, "What is this?" And he's like, "Happy Valentine's, babe." And I said, "What the heck?" Oh my God, I completely forgot he got me flowers and chocolates. from Gonzaga.
Oh, that's so nice. And you guys been together for about 10 years, right?
Yeah.
That's a long
Happy
time.
and it's crazy because it's also a happy anniversary to Ruby. She made 11 years married with her hubby.
Yep. And look at that.
So
Jay has been married for 27 years.
congratulations.
Wow.
Yes. So for me, although I am not married, I still feel married. Like
Right. Because you've been together for so long. Yeah.
he's my first everything. He's my first boyfriend, first everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we've
Mm-hmm.
been together for 10 years now. My son is 8. Or he's turning 8 next week.
Yep.
So this is honestly, this is new for us because he's not the type
Wow.
to do that. And I guess
Right.
because I was raised not celebrating,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of like, you know, I guess he kind of didn't celebrate it as well like that, and he wasn't really raised religious or anything like that.
Right. It's not a big
So
deal.
yeah, but this was a huge surprise, and it really made my day, and it meant a lot to me.
You see, that's so nice. And look at that. Beverly says 37 years married. Yo,
Wow.
that's
God bless
crazy.
that. That's beautiful.
Wow. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Michelle.
Oh.
Hi, Eric. 2-minute warning. Thank you, Michelle. Yes. So really quickly, for 2 more minutes, let's talk about that. So in the organization, we're not allowed to date. We're not allowed to, get married unless the other person in the relationship is also a JW, a Jehovah's
Right.
Witness, right?
Yep.
So when Toni met her partner, he wasn't a witness. Therefore, it was a no-go. You're not supposed to date. You're not supposed to
Yep.
talk. You're not supposed to spend time together, let alone have a
Mhm.
child together.
Yep.
Absolutely not. And
Nope.
so that's how we got kicked out. That's how we got
Mhm.
shunned from the organization.
And they actually had given me an ultimatum. They said it's either you cut him out completely and do not involve him in
Right.
anything,
Yeah.
or you get disfellowship, and that's that. And I said,
Right.
100%, I'm not gonna deny him access to his child, and I would never treat him like
Right.
that. So yeah, I guess I'm getting disfellowship, and that was the story. That's the start of my
There you
journey.
go. Exactly. All right. And then a little bit about me. Well, you see, marriage didn't intimidate Toni. She said, I would rather get this fellowship than get married to this man or, bend the knee just to have this man in my life with my child.
100%.
But I was 17 years old and that really intimidated me. And so my marriage was sanctioned by Watchtower. The elders told me, if you don't get married, he cannot be a father. So the only way to have him in your life and the child's life, and you're 17, you're so young, you're not going to survive with a baby.
Mhm.
And I was like, I know I'm not going to survive. So what should I do? I'm looking to these men like, Jehovah, tell me what to do. And they told me you need to get married. So on February 13th, 2014, that's when we got married. But the good thing was he was a Jehovah's Witness as well. So it wasn't that bad. And so we thought, let's just get married and fix this up so that we don't have to waste any more time being disfellowshipped. And so it was a patched up marriage. Chad said bad elders. Yep, I know, Chad. Michelle says, yeah, the elders pushed you into marriage. Yeah, they really did. They coerced my marriage. They told me to get married.
She's just a child.
And I was just a child. Exactly. I was 17 years
I
old.
still think that's considered a child when it comes to marriage.
Oh no, but mentally I was like 12.
Yeah.
Like my isolation to the world in that cult was like a little girl getting married to a man. He was 20, he was 20 at that. And he was like street smart. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I was afraid, I was just like, what the hell is happening?
Mm-hmm. Was he out longer than you before like all that happened for you? Like was he already
technically he was inactive. Yeah, he wasn't attending meetings at the time. So they were, whatever. Anyways, we're gonna move on our minute mark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, Jay says he got married at 19.
Wow.
And even still, that's pretty young. If you were born and raised in this cult, that's too young because mentally you're not really an adult. You don't know the world. So it's like, how are you going to make such a lifelong commitment to
Right.
a person like that. Same thing with baptism. Why are you making such a lifelong commitment in an organization that doesn't treat baptism as just your relationship with God? No, they take it a
Right.
step further and they say once you get baptized as a Jehovah's Witness, you can't leave, or else you will lose your family, your friends,
Mhm.
your whole community
I mean, like you
if you leave.
said, I chose to get this fellowship and I lost all of that in overnight. And I'd rather have been disfellowship and allow this man to have access and a life with his child than
Right.
deprive him of that and make his life a living hell.
Right. Okay. So we live and we learn. I used to
Mhm.
be really bitter and angry that I got married so young, and I used to blame the organization and yada yada. I was shunned as a child, got married as one. It was just a mess.
Yeah.
But here we are, 10 plus years later, and
Woohoo!
we are
Happy
exposing the watchtower.
anniversary. Yes, and this is the best.
So sometimes it feels bittersweet to feel like I have an anniversary, because in my mind I'm like, I didn't make that decision to get married, so why am I I don't need to celebrate that because it wasn't what I wanted. But you
Oh,
know what, we're gonna let the water go under the bridge, and we're not gonna let that bother us anymore.
yes.
We're gonna move on with our lives and
Mhm.
just keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't
Yeah.
let that bother you too much.
Yeah, new chapter.
Yeah, for real. Okay, so that's a perfect segue into the Norway trials, because the Jehovah's Witnesses are appealing the decision that Norway just did in 2024 to deregister them as a religion. And we talk about this all the time because I say we should be doing this in America. We should
Mhm.
be saying that because of the human rights violations that the organization does, they do not deserve the state subsidies.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Yeah, like they shouldn't get the 501c3 or be considered a charitable organization because they violate human rights. What are some of the, well, let me ask you, Tony, what are some of the human rights violations in your opinion that the organization violates?
Human rights violations.
Yeah, because there's a lot of them, but especially what they're talking about in Norway, you want me to give you a hint?
Yes. Sorry.
Is the shunning.
Oh.
So shunning is one of the biggest, most obvious
Oh, yeah, yeah,
human right violations, that when you get disfellowshipped, you get shunned. Oh
yeah.
yeah, let me say hi to a couple of people. We got Lily in the chat,
Lily,
and we got illegal immigrant and
illegal immigrant.
CN in the chat.
CN. Hello,
Unite
welcome.
for Peace 88. Hello. Joe and
Hello.
Friend. Hey, Joe and Friend.
Hey, Joe and Fran.
I know people are gonna keep coming in, so keep on
Mm,
in the chat because I see your chats and I'll say hello to you when you come in.
yes.
So yeah, back to Norway. One of the most obvious human right violations is the shunning, and I already did 2 videos on day one. So I did 3 videos. Day
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. I talked about Norway. You cannot shun someone just because they change their religion. That would violate freedom of
Okay,
religion.
yes.
Okay, we talk about this all
Freedom.
the time.
They violate our freedom of speech all the time.
Exactly. Freedom of religion. They violated through shunning. Now, as an organization, in my opinion, you cannot directly, oh, thank you, Lily. You
Thank you.
cannot directly tell your members that you have to shun your daughter or your mother or your father, your son, because they converted to another religion. If you want to use the Bible as your defense, right? There's only maybe a few, like 2 or 3 scriptures that talk about not eating with a brother if he's if he turns away from God or
Mhm.
something like that. I forgot that scripture. But it
Well,
says like not even eating with a brother, because
yeah,
that's the
but
scripture that they use.
it's also just, I don't even think you have to switch religions. Just the questioning alone, if they see you're questioning the belief
Right.
system in general, and pretty often, if they see it, they're going to start distancing themselves and disassociating, and they're going to label you as spiritually weak. Um, so, and
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was studying, I was the last one to get baptized. It was me and my twin. And my Bible study conductor told me, so have you been thinking about what you want to do? And I'm looking at her like, I want to keep studying. Like, what do you mean? And she's like, I mean,
Yeah.
your family got baptized. So, I mean, that's really the next step. And I'm like, I really didn't, it never clicked in my head that about baptism, like until she
Right.
mentioned it.
That's coercion. It's like if the person didn't bring it up themselves, I want to get baptized or dedicate my life to God or whatever. Why are
But
you bringing it
the
up?
thing is that when she asked me that, I had been asking her a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Questions that was only really between me and her, and she was so kind and loving enough to even entertain that, because really if it was someone else they would have never entertained it.
Oh, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
And so when she saw the combination, that's when she was like, so I mean, what are you thinking about? I mean, the next step would technically be baptism because you're kind of like the last ones. And it like hit me. um
Right.
so I guess, and that's when I started making my way towards baptism.
Okay. So some people in the chat have also said, like Joe and Fran, their parents didn't shun them when they converted from Catholicism to Jehovah's Witnesses.
You see?
That's a great point. I mean, that was one of my first questions. Do the Orthodox
Mhm.
Christians shun? No, they don't.
Yeah.
And, technically speaking, when we talk about orthodoxy, is like the oldest version of Christianity. And if they don't shun, why are you shunning? You know what I'm saying? Like, if
Yeah.
we're trying to follow Jesus to the best of our ability, why are you making up stuff? Why are you making up rules to shun?
Yes.
So, yeah, that's the biggest issue for me. So, that's one violation that I can think of that correlates to Norway. Aside from Norway, they also violate your freedom to vote, your neutrality
Oh yeah,
stance.
100%.
They
Yep.
violate your privacy when it comes to like the blood doctrine. The whole hospital liaison committee, in my opinion, is like violating HIPAA laws because it's none of your
HIPAA.
damn business what I do with my body or what
Mhm.
kind of health care that I get. And you don't need to be
Yep.
visiting me whenever you want, popping up. It's like a mafia. It's like a medical
Mhm.
mafia for Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yep.
So those are some of the ones that I can think of. Violation of human rights. So last year, I don't know if you know this, Toni, but Norway had a trial with them, and then they deregistered because they were shunning minors, right?
Mhm.
After it was exposed that the Jehovah's Witnesses shun minors, they had the governing body update change that we saw with what's his name? The bald one. I forgot his name already.
Sanderson?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had that video. The whole internet broke that day.
Mark
That,
Sanderson.
yeah.
He was
So,
in my congregation.
and you've said that before. So if anybody
Yeah,
doesn't
so like
remember that,
I knew of him. I saw him, and at first when I met him, I thought he was the sweetest person, but then eventually I started to see, yeah, he's not that sweet. Yeah.
what got me was that he was the only single one. I was like, what the hell? I thought all of them had to be
Yes.
married. Like, what?
And I met him when I was becoming a pioneer. I was a pioneer and I was going to pioneer school. So I feel like it gave me the vibe. It gave me the vibe that he was only even entertaining conversation with me because I was a pioneer in the congregation. That was the
Mm-hmm.
vibe I got.
Well, of course. You're a
Yeah.
somebody. I'm a nobody. So you deserve to talk to an anointed person, okay?
Oh my God.
Anyways, okay, so he did the governing body update saying that the parents can decide now what the consequences would be. The Christian parents can decide that, which is how it should have been since day one. You do not take the child and separate them from the parents as if they are accountable for their own like journey or
Mhm.
spirituality, as if they have to account. They have an accounting themselves to
Yes.
God. How are we supposed to really know that? And until you are an adult that God can, see, right from wrong, yada yada, the whole Christian talking points, that's not what's important. Nobody cares what God you believe in. What we care about is if you're violating human rights when you dictate these consequences to people, especially children. You do not cross that line. That's a red line. So Norway recognized this and they deregistered them and they took their money away from Watchtower.
Yeah.
And Watchtower was so mad that they were forced. And this is in my mind. I'm thinking, you know how angry I would be if a government told me that I had to change if I'm thinking I'm the governing body, right? Hypothetically. You know how angry I would be that I would have to change policy? And you know what? Whatever happened to their talking point about we obey God as ruler rather than men?
Ooh.
What happened to that?
Burn sizzle.
So even if the government told you that you can't do X, Y, and Z, why wouldn't you take the L and say, you know what? I'm going to pray to Jehovah and I'm going to say, Jehovah, it's in your hands, right? Right? I'm going to leave it in your hands and I'm going to obey you rather than men. And I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep my policy. I don't care. Right? But no, because they don't worship God, the true God. So they're going to take the L, make the change, and then try to run back to Norway and say, hey, we made all the necessary changes, guys. Give us back the money. Yep. We want that money back. And that's exactly what they did.
Yep.
Oh, King of Dots says human rights are God-given rights, Ruby. That's true. That's true. And that's how I feel like the organization is a cult, because they are violating those rights that God gave us. God gave us free will. If I don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore, even if I don't want to be Christian anymore, God gave me the free will to do that. And whatever consequences I receive in the afterlife or when I die or whatever, that's for me to find out. F around and find out with whatever it is in life, right? AFO. Because you will find out. But that is our choice to find out. You don't need an organization telling you to do anything.
Right.
It's all about the money with the governing body members. Money talks. Exactly. Yeah. So I wanted to just show everybody that the Norway information that we've been getting, because I know that Vern covered, I think, the majority of it, if not all of it by now. I haven't been watching his channel, but I saw a couple of them and I clicked on the one.
He's pretty on top of it.
Yeah, so he's pretty on top of it. And then I said, man, Vern is doing this. I need to up my game. Like, I need to stop. I need to stop being lazy. So I started covering the Norway. So if anybody is interested, avoidjw.org covers all of the days. So this is the website. We'll include it in the link in the description. But you see right here on the side, you click this down arrow button and you see how it says day 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know, it has all the information there. So when you click on that, you will see all of the details for each day of the trial. And they even have, you know, like side information, like the XJWs that are actually participating in the trial, you know, like giving testimony. And you know, I talk about him on my channel too. His name is John Nielsen. I think we talked about him here too when Vern was here. I mean, there was a lot of people who went to that trial. They flew in to be at this trial, because I don't know if you got, I mean, if anybody has been following, let me know how you guys feel about the Norway trials. Because in my opinion, I think that Norway should like double down and keep the deregistration.
In my personal opinion, I agree with that. And I think that they should not, because the point is that they're proving that they're not a religion by changing those policies so quickly and easily. And if the courts are in tune and if they are doing their own thorough research and looking at the broadcasting and at all this information that they're so-called having enlightenment from God, it's just, you could see right clear through it, and you would know the motive, you would know why they're doing it, And they
Right.
really don't care about the human rights aspect part of it. And that's the point. We need to show them that they have to, and that they got to pay the consequences for all that they've done, period. And that they do not deserve that tax exemption status for religions.
Exactly. So, if anybody saw my most recent video when I was talking about day 3, because this is when the Jehovah's Witnesses were actually had the chance to defend their position. So the Watchtower lawyer brought up active Jehovah's Witnesses to testify to the court how shunning has helped them. I think that's so disgusting. Like, I couldn't even stomach reading the article because I was like, everything that they said was just so brainwashed to try to defend the shunning policy. So I did my video and I told them, look, you could believe whatever you want to believe, right? I'm quoting from my own video. Believe what you want, but you don't need the government's money to do that. You could believe whatever you want. What the government is saying, you're not going to commit these violations with our money, with our support, because we don't condone that, right? So what would you do if you didn't have the government help or the money? You have to fund yourself.
Correct.
So I said, go fund yourself.
Which is how it should be.
Yes. So I think that's the best thing that we can say, and it with anything, not just religion. When people want to do their own thing, stop asking the government for money and just do it yourself. If you want the money from the government, guess what? You're going to have to follow every little law and policy that the government is going to put you through. And if you want that money, then you're going to have to do whatever master says. And that's where they don't want to do what the master says. They don't want to do it because they consider themselves masters over others. So this is a power struggle, and it's a power, money hungry situation that this is not going to work. So you know what? Fund yourself. That's it. That's all Norway is saying. They're not persecuting you. They're not trying to change your belief system. Like, stop acting like victims. You're not the victim in this, okay?
Oh, Lord Jesus.
We are the victims in this. And do you see us trying to play the victim card? Not us. We're just trying to expose. Like, don't kill the messenger. Because we went through this. So if you really want to call yourself a victim, it's the Jehovah's Witness community.
It's actually very disrespectful that they think they can play the victim card when you actually have victims of this cult. It's very disrespectful.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, Michelle. So we're going to move on to another subject. If anybody has been living under a rock, the Super Bowl just passed, and we saw something super outrageous, insane.
The double standards.
It was crazy. So I'm going to play the clip and then let me know how you feel about this, guy.
There was a sister at the Super Bowl.
There was a sister at the Super Bowl. Look at her right there.
Oh, snap. She looking good.
Yeah, having a great time.
Party hardy.
Wow. Guys, how do you feel about that? I don't know.
It's definitely a double standard. And once again, it proves that they're all about money, because she obviously has money. And they know that there's not much they can control over her. So, and if they do even mention anything, then they'll lose out on the money, and they'll probably get some criticism on top of that. So they're trying to avoid all types of bad, what do you call that?
Like a bad rep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Lots of people have had your same sentiments, but I heard a new perspective from Wally. Do you know who Wally is in the community?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's another YouTuber, right? And he did a video about Serena. If anybody has seen that,
I have not.
Okay, so on your free time, go watch that. But basically what he said was, I don't think it's just the money part of it, like the contributions. I think that whoever her elders were who even approved her baptism were like like big mistake, like big whoop, like big mistake to even let her get baptized in the first place. So maybe they are regretting that those elders probably went ahead and baptized her, knowing her profile.
Um,
I'm saying like that's what he said.
I appreciate the difference of perspective, and I'm not gonna deny that that's not. It's probably has, you know, that's part of it, but I think
Part of it.
the main point is the income that she is providing to the organization, possibly.
Okay. He continues on by saying, I think the reason why they don't actually enforce
Mhm.
this with Serena, versus regular
Mhm.
Jehovah's Witnesses is because if they piss her off, if they reprove her or disfellowship her and she gets pissed off,
Oh, they're
she
gonna
could be one of the biggest voices
yeah.
that will blow the lid on
Yeah.
the exposing the Watchtower and Jehovah's Witnesses
Yeah.
like us. But it would
Mhm.
be a Serena Williams with the huge platform that she has, and they
Yeah.
are afraid of that, so they will
Mhm.
not do anything. And I was thinking, yes, I believe that more than the contributions, because even if she doesn't give $1, they're not gonna touch her. They
Yeah.
are not going to do, or they're not
No,
gonna
yeah.
do or say anything
She would
to
drag
piss
them
her
through
off.
the mud. She would definitely drag them through the mud. And they're already being dragged through the mud, so they don't need anything more than that. So
Okay. So Colty says that Jerron also posted a video, so I'm gonna have to check out his perspective.
okay, yeah.
But I was thinking, yeah,
Are we
that's
able
what.
to like are we able to play like a few like a maybe like a 10-15 second clip of each one? Just so to get like a
Okay, like to get an idea.
yeah.
Okay, so Wally's page is JW Thoughts. Okay, so let me share my. Oh, I think I am sharing my screen.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is Wally. His channel is JW Thoughts. And then let's go over. Here we go. Here we go.
Are you able to zoom in a little?
Yeah. With the
I have said before that Serena Williams
me
is
see.
the most unique for the Olympics. I also made another deep dive video on that one, talking about how that really works with Jehovah's Witnesses and their stance on neutrality. But here she's just dancing. She's just dancing to a song. But this isn't something that Jehovah's Witnesses normally would be allowed to do. Why can I say that very confidently? Well, let me just play a quick snippet from a series of videos that was played during a convention a couple of years ago, talking about not drawing attention to yourself. And it was in reference to someone using an YouTube or social media platform to help her online business.
Yep.
But this was seen as a bad thing
Yes,
because
I
she was
remember
drawing
that.
too
Oh
much
my
attention to
god.
herself.
The earrings, the jewelry.
Okay, so I'm not gonna play that. If anybody wants to watch that.
That's a very good example. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. You see, I love Wally. So I'm gonna skip.
Yes.
I'm gonna skip down. Maybe he says more stuff.
What is happening is that they are in an incredibly difficult situation where whatever elders approved of her getting baptized in the first place made kind of a big mistake.
Big mistake.
By allowing her to get baptized, knowing full well that she wasn't going to follow all of these ridiculous, every single rule that the governing body audience, millions of people all around the world, would bring them such incredible negative PR.
Negative
it would
PR.
be the worst thing that they could possibly imagine.
Yes.
Okay, so that's basically what he says in the in his video.
And I like that he brought that video out because that video is actually pretty recent. It's pretty recent.
Yeah.
And they made a huge deal when that video came out, a huge deal.
Right. Okay, so this is Jerron Benton. He's been on my channel before. I interviewed him. Yeah, he's a really cool guy living in Hawaii. So now that's a 17-minute video. So I'll only play like 2 minutes.
Okay.
They not
Oh no, they're gonna get copyrighted. Oh no.
Not the
Now-
grip handkerchief. Look at
Imagine if Serena Williams, if she was the fellowship or an apostate when she made that video. I mean, when she made that when she was dancing, crip walking, right? Imagine if she was the fellowship or an apostate. What would Jehovah's Witnesses say about her? As we all know, Jehovah's Witnesses, they love to gossip, right?
Yeah.
They love to fabricate, make their own stories, fabricate things. They love to gossip, spread rumors.
Yeah, they would say,
Because
"Oh, this
they
is
live
Satan's
boring
world."
lives, so they
You
need
see,
to
that's
be
what you do when you
entertained
leave
one
Jehovah.
way or another, right?
Yeah.
A lot of witnesses entertain themselves by gossiping.
Yes.
So like I
it's true.
said, if Serena Williams was the fellowship or if she was an apostate, right? And she pulled that stunt, crip walking, during the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
you know what witnesses would say?
Mm-hmm.
She left the world. She's on stage shaking her ass for some cash. You know what? The way she was crip walking, I bet you she has an OnlyFans account. She's probably cripping and stripping.
Cripping and
probably
stripping. Oh
twerking
my God.
and slurping.
Oh Lord,
You see
Jerron.
what happens when you
Oh my goodness, Jerron.
Listen. I mean, he stated some good points.
Yeah, you know that's good. If anybody wants to watch the rest of that video,
Yeah.
definitely go to Jerron B's
Shout out
channel.
to
I
JB.
always watch his stuff.
Yeah.
I love him.
It's just let alone her outfit. It was way above the
Oh,
knee.
that too. Yeah.
The tummy was showing. Her
Yeah.
boobies, her little girlies were out.
Yep.
So it's there's a lot to say, unfortunately, but we got to cover it. Sorry, Serena, we got to cover it.
And this is what happens when you join a cult. Every little thing is under a microscope.
Mhm.
Every little thing is going to be criticized. Not even a cult. You know what? Let me take that back. This is what happens when you profess yourself to be something, when you label yourself like, oh, I'm a Christian, oh, I'm a Muslim, oh, I'm this, I'm that. So now the outside world is going to be looking at you as an example of what you say you are.
But
And if
what's a good, I'm actually really curious, because if she's bold enough
yeah,
to go on live TV dressed the way she was,
yes,
knowing that she is baptized and basically pledged her loyalty to this organization,
right.
does she go door to door?
Exactly. Like, I don't even think she does.
I wouldn't even think she does that.
No, I don't think so.
So once again, it's about the double standards.
Right, because I mean, even if she did go door to door, this would reprove her, especially the stunt that she got in the Olympics.
I don't think they would want her to go door to door. They're probably like, you know what, you stay where you are. You're good where you are.
Exactly, but that's not how the Jehovah's Witnesses function. It's just that's not the real world. Like, you can say whatever you want to say, but in the real world, this is how it is, and people are not going to take that lightly.
Jay said letter writing only.
Letter writing only. Yeah, for real.
Imagine receiving a letter from the JWs and it's signed Serena.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyways, but the point that I was trying to make was that when you claim to be something, right, people are going to be looking to you to see if you live how you say, talk as you say. People, like you were saying earlier, people care about your actions rather than your words. You could say whatever you want, but if you don't live by it and follow it, then you are not it.
Yep.
And that's why, even before I started calling myself a Christian again, it was like I had to be 1000% sure I was going to live by those standards. And if I wasn't ready, I would have never gotten baptized.
Yeah.
You see? So she didn't care enough.
No.
She didn't probably think about it.
She was looking at that camera, doing her thing.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't take it seriously. But when me and you were growing up, if we didn't take notes, if we didn't go out in service, if we didn't show our spirituality, You was
I
in a
kid
couple
you
dance floor.
not. I kid you not. I wore a skirt one time, and
Mhm.
this was at my congregation.
Yeah.
You know the congregation that we grew up in. I kid you not, the skirt was not even half an inch above my knee.
Yeah.
And they said they took away the part I had. They said you cannot be up there because you're a bad example.
Right.
So I had to run into the bathroom and exchange outfits with my sister in
Yeah.
order to do the part. And they
Yeah.
basically forced me to do that because they made me feel like I was I should be
Improper.
embarrassed
Yes.
for how
Yes.
I was dressed. Mind you, all the sisters, brothers and sisters pioneers, they never once mentioned it. It was just this one elder. This one elder.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That happens to too many. Like, there's thousands of those types of stories, thousands of it. But then you see Serena Williams, self-proclaimed, Jehovah
Mhm.
Witness, on a halftime show. First of all, forget about the dress and grooming. The type of dance that she's doing is so inappropriate and
Yeah.
so worldly.
Yeah.
Because what are the Crips? Who are the Crips? What do the Crips do? What are they known for?
Ay,
Do
ay,
you
ay.
think she thought about any of that before
Oh,
thinking about herself?
I'm pretty sure she thought about it and she was like, yeah, you know what? Like, like forget the watchtower. I'm doing my thing,
And you know how insensitive it is to bring up to represent or to dance in representation of that gang. And I
Mhm.
didn't even know this, but like her half sister was murdered by
Yep.
one of those two gangs.
I
I
saw,
don't know if
yeah.
it was the Bloods or the Crips, whatever it was. So she's how distasteful, like, to yourself. Like, you're disrespecting yourself when your own half sister
Yeah,
died from gang violence.
we should definitely look into that. But basically, yes, she, yeah, her sister. Do more, yeah, I would love to do more research into that. But yeah, that
Right?
was crazy.
Like, but why would you do that? Like, if your sister died by a gang violence, would you be crip walking representing a gang or a color? She wore blue. They're known for blue,
Oh,
right?
okay. Michelle is she did mention it. I don't know if you want to pull that up quick.
It was the Crips. She died by the Crips' hand.
So it's
And
a
even the
little,
color.
you know
Yeah,
what? That
like,
actually makes me think, did she have a good relationship with her sister or she did not?
I don't know.
I don't
I don't
know,
know.
because
I
why
don't
would
know.
you partake in something when your sister was involved in a case like that? So
You see, Michelle says no, especially the gang that killed my sister. So what is she doing making the dance of the Crips? Like it mind boggles me. Does that make any
um
sense? I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know.
Anyways, we're gonna move forward. Maybe I'll do my own video about Serena and like really bring out that emotion. Like, what the heck? Because if I don't even have a sister. If your sister died, would you be dancing in blue, the Crip color, and then doing the Crip dance? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
15-minute countdown.
Yes. Okay. So the next story that it's gonna be a story time. We wanted to keep it light and simple because the Norway stuff and Serena, and we only want to be here for an hour because we talk too much. But
Sorry,
I
guys.
saw I saw that one of our favorite girlies in the
Oh,
chat.
hold on. Pause. I'm so
What?
sorry. Before we
What?
get into that, please pull up Jeremy's comment because he said it. He said
Okay.
a good point.
Hi, Wild.
Hi,
Jimmy
Wawa.
says humiliation ritual. Okay,
Go
you know what?
Jimmy. Go Jimmy.
You know what, Jimmy? Pause. Okay, pause, rewind, press play. Because the fact that her sister died by the gang violence and whatever, and that her and Venus are super famous the way that they are, I would even call that sacrifice. If we believe in the
Ooh,
Illuminati.
Stop playing.
So you know what? This is not a
Ooh,
political show, but on Tuesday night, we
we
can
got
dive
it.
deep into that
We're diving
Illuminati
deep.
theory that all of these famous people have had family members died or shot, like unexpectedly died or shot or something through some outside means, that before the humiliation ritual begins, you got to make a sacrifice. So when you sell your soul to the devil, he gonna keep taking.
Ooh.
And I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We talk too much. You see how we almost got
I'm sorry.
You see that, guys? We have ADHD. And I think that ever since I started talking to Toni again, whoops. Ever since I started talking to Toni again, when she stopped shunning me, we spent more time together, and her ADHD started coming on.
It's contagious.
It's contagious. So if she would have kept shunning me, I don't know if I would be like this, but she decided to keep talking to me.
Yes.
All right. I'm just joking. Yes, we gotta talk
about
that.
I don't mind taking the blame. It's understandable.
Yes.
All love. It's all love. It's all love.
Okay. So we were gonna cover one of our favorite girlies. She joins my show pretty frequent. Yep, it's the pickles, because Toni has been eating
the polysorbate 80. Stop it. I love my pickles. I didn't know. Now I know better. I'm gonna get a different pickle.
That's gonna be our inside joke. So if anybody doesn't know the pickle joke,
bro, just next time, just put the number 80 and I'm gonna know what you're talking about.
Yeah, P80. P80.
P80.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to Del Real's story. Dorene Del Real. Her story. Oh,
hi.
We were gonna cover your story because I can't believe you did this interview. How could you tell nobody?
Yeah,
okay.
we definitely let's get in.
Okay, so she did this interview, right? She didn't tell nobody. She gatekeeping over here. And I saw her I saw this tweet pop up on my algorithm, and I said, hey, I know this girl.
Mm-hmm.
So stop mandated shunning. She did an interview with them. All right. And look at the article. Oh my God. Can you believe yourself? Like banner, interview, like article being written on you.
Yes, gorgeous.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so I was going to read this story for our last 10 minutes. The title says Breaking Free from Fear and Shunning. I'm going to bring this to my other monitor because I got two monitors.
Oh, can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Okay.
Oh, I appreciate it.
There we go. So this was posted on February 5th, 2025. All right. I'm going to read the story. I was born and raised as a Jehovah's Witness in the 1970s and 80s, a second-generation member of the faith. When I was just an infant, a witness came to my mother's door, and she soon began studying and attending meetings despite my unbelieving father's disapproval. One of my earliest memories is of my books of Bible stories, a children's book, a children's horror book. Okay, let me go back to the story. A children's book from the organization. The horrifying images in that book terrified me, filling my childhood with nightmares and an overwhelming fear of dying at Armageddon. I can't imagine how any child could sleep peacefully after seeing those pictures before bed. That fear stayed with me well into adulthood, controlling my thoughts and emotions for years. As a witness, I was told to shun disfellowshipped individuals, but I never understood why. It always felt so cruel. When I turned 16, my mother told my brothers and me that we could decide for ourselves whether to continue attending meetings. My siblings and I all chose to leave. Whoa! For the first time, I began experiencing life outside the organization, working, going to college, and socializing.
I don't know. Do you know how many siblings? Hey, Del Real Love, how many siblings do you got?
All right, so she's in the chat. So let me know if she answers you. But that's crazy because
That's crazy.
They don't even
Yeah,
give us
that's huge.
choices.
It's almost like the siblings were more united than like together
Wow.
than the parents, you know?
Good point.
Huge
And this is
rela-
my first time reading it, so I'm having
Yes.
like a live reaction
Mhm.
because I was like, "Really? Your mother gave you a choice if you
Right.
wanted to leave or stay?" Like, oh
Mhm.
man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so she said she often felt empty watching friends get married and start families while I struggled to find my peace. I eventually had my daughter after a 2-year relationship with a controlling partner. When
Mm.
that ended, I felt lost again. While living with my parents, a witness came to my door and I started studying again. Oh no!
Whoa.
No, Dorene!
3 brothers. There's 4 of them altogether.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
Hoping to fill the void. You see what I'm saying? That void is a demon. It's demonic.
It is. It's a black hole sucking the life out of you.
Yeah, bendito. Okay.
Mhm.
I wasn't baptized at the time, but I later met my son's father. When I became pregnant, he pressured me to have an abortion. Oh no!
Oh, listen.
I refused and the relationship ended. There we go. Slap in the chat for Dorene, man.
Yes.
Wow,
Oh,
Doreen.
Kosi says nobody puts baby in a corner, and you are right. That's my favorite quote.
Yeah,
Because no one puts baby in the corner.
man. You know, I wish we were stronger back then. You know, like I
What do
really
you?
wish we didn't let people, push us around and make decisions for us.
I mean, I
Um,
think I think I had a mouth on me back then.
yeah, you still do. You
I
still do.
still
It just
do.
got worse, but
Thanks, thanks,
it was
thanks.
to your benefit.
It was. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Okay. So by her late 30s, I'm reading on. I was still searching for direction. A sister at the Kingdom Hall terrified me by saying that if I didn't get baptized, my children and I would die at Armageddon. That fear pushed me to get baptized. Not
Mm.
faith, not conviction, just fear.
Wow.
I now realize that was the wrong reason to make such a commitment.
Yep. Understood. Yep.
Not long after, my son's father came back into our lives, wanting to marry me. I thought he had changed, but I later discovered he was cheating. Oh,
What a dog. Let me
yo,
stop.
this story has roller coasters. It's like, whoop.
Sorry.
Oh, man. Okay.
Cheating dog.
When I turned to the elders for guidance, they told me I had to work things out with him, even though he was openly unfaithful. According
Are
to their
you kidding me?
two-witness rule. Yep. No. Let's keep reading. According to the two-witness rule, I needed 2 people to confirm his adultery before they would recognize it. One day, while out in field service, I saw his car parked at another woman's house. No.
Oh, and I would have probably,
my
I probably would have did Carrie Underwood and stabbed his tires. Let me
Yeah.
stop.
Oh my gosh, novela.
Instead of his little bit. Let me stop.
OMG. That was all the proof I needed. I mentally
Whoa.
checked out of the religion then and there. The
Bravo.
elders showed no concern for me or my children, and I fell into a deep depression. No.
Wow.
I stopped going to meetings feeling completely lost. In my search for love and stability, I entered another relationship with a non-witness and became pregnant again.
Aw.
Not knowing any better, I confessed to the elders, subjecting myself to their judgment and shame. At 41 years old, I was disfellowshipped. Wow. That's when the worst pain of all began. My mother, the only Jehovah's Witness in our entire extended family, hold on, let me start again. My mother, the only Jehovah's Witness in our entire extended family, immediately started shunning me. When I was in the hospital delivering my youngest daughter, she refused to visit.
Wow.
I had to bring my baby to her house just so she could meet her.
Wow.
I was desperate for help, and when I asked my mother to babysit while I returned to work, she agreed on the condition that I only speak to her about my daughter and nothing else. The awkwardness was unbearable, but I had no one else to trust. Wow. Later, she did something that shook me to my core. She told me she wanted to adopt my daughter. What?
Hold
I
the
thought she,
phone.
what? Whoa. Whoa. You know what? Okay, let's
So
put a
she
pause right there.
doesn't
Let's put a,
have. She's shunning her. Doesn't want to be there at the delivery.
yep. Yep.
And she's got the Let me not say what I was gonna say. Now she's got the audacity.
Yes.
The
Yes.
audacity to ask for adoption.
You know what? Let's rewind this a little bit. When she was giving birth, her mother didn't even bother to go to the birth. And I experienced that as well from my youngest son. My mother said she wasn't going to come after she said she was going to come. So you see what these people do? That's
Yeah, and
emotional
you know what
trauma.
mine's is? Mine's is that I had to tell my mom, you're not invited and you need to leave. I literally kicked her out
Wow.
because it was ridiculous what they were doing. It was like a hot potato, like who wants to be in the delivery room? And I'm looking at her like, excuse me, I said I wanted you. So since you want to play hot potato with something that wasn't meant to be thrown to another person, now all of you are out of here and not one of you is going to be here. And you know who ended up coming in the delivery room? It was a sister.
Wow.
A sister that I had just met and
Mhm.
only known a few months. And she's the one that came into the room, the delivery room with me.
Wow. Yeah, that was a crazy story, Toni, because I was like, I mean, at least you had somebody, you know, despite it being a witness, at least you had somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
that's still not
just
right,
to show
you know?
you. That's just to show
Right.
you how bad it was.
Right. And that doesn't make it right. Like the whole you know, family drama, you know, like that's not, you're giving birth, bro. You're like, you know, like
That's crazy.
no,
So
it's oh my God. Yup. And you know, I always used to think to myself that, you know, giving birth is such a dangerous thing. You know, like you could legit die from childbirth.
yeah, I mean, I had a C-section, so it's a surgery, and you can definitely. There's so many things that can happen, so many complications that can come into play, and it's not a joke. Whether
Right.
whether
Like
it's a C-section or whether it's a natural birth, there's so many complications that can happen, and you know, I just don't understand where their mindset is at. But the point
yeah.
is, that she has the audacity to shun her, not
Yep.
go to the delivery, and now she wants to adopt her daughter.
No, that's shocking.
Can we let's finish
Yeah,
reading.
yeah, let's keep going on. She says, I thought she was out of her mind. Of course, I said no. Still, she continued to indoctrinate my daughter, showing her Jehovah's Witness videos despite my repeated objections. She even excluded me from family gatherings with my brothers, even though they had never been baptized witnesses. Being treated like a,
Ooh,
yeah, because she was the only one who was baptized, right?
that is a huge double standard, and
Yeah,
I also have so much to say about that because they will have no problem shunning you.
right.
But they'll go to baby showers, they'll go to gatherings with extended family that are
Worldly people.
non-witnesses,
Worldly
worldly
people.
people of different religions, of different beliefs, and basically fornicators.
Right, right.
So,
Sinners.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, like that is huge to me because it's just like you're a hypocrite
Right.
in its entire definition.
Exactly. Okay. So she says being treated like a dead family member was unbearable. Sometimes I would call my brothers in tears, but they couldn't truly understand as they weren't being shunned. I had no one to turn to. The loneliness took a serious toll on my mental health, and I struggled to find the support I needed.
Yeah.
Even when I was a witness, I have never felt truly accepted by my mother or by the organization.
Mhm.
Eventually, I wanted to search for God, but I feared falling into another high control religion.
Mhm.
One day, I was invited to a Christian church. I had never been to one before, and I was overwhelmed by the warmth of the worship and the sermon. Over time, I developed a real relationship with God, one free from fear, guilt, and control.
Mm.
Today, I feel closer to God than ever before.
Oh.
Yet my mother's shunning has not changed. It has been 13 years and she still refuses to speak to me. My son recently begged her to have a relationship with me, but she told him no, saying I had disobeyed her and Jehovah. She
Mm.
said she would never forgive me. It was heartbreaking to hear those words from my own mother. I
Yeah.
still visit my father occasionally, and when I do, I see an old picture of my kids and me at the Kingdom Hall. Every time it triggers Every time, it triggers the painful reality that this cult stole years of my life and my relationship with my mother.
Yep.
It robbed me of a normal childhood and left me with years of depression.
Yep.
And still, my mother tells my children she is praying for me to return. I just shake my head.
Uh-huh.
3 months ago, I finally searched online for information about Jehovah's Witnesses, and I was astonished by what I found. I had never realized the scale of the XJW community. Thousands of people telling their stories of shunning, child abuse cover ups, suicides, and
Mm.
deception within the organization. The more I learned, the more I knew I had to speak out.
Yeah.
That's when I decided to start my own YouTube channel. Amazing, Dorene! In just 3 months, I have had countless current and former witnesses reach out to me, thanking me for sharing my story. Some have even left the organization after watching my videos. I had
Mhm.
no idea how massive the XJW community was, possibly even larger than the 8 million members the
Yes,
Watchtower
and
has.
I agree. I would think that they definitely are way bigger than the cult itself.
Yeah. Well,
Hi,
she says the
Lisa
movie Apostate
Fenton.
is her whole story. We
Hey,
gotta watch that
Beverly.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Okay.
And she said, did you put the comment that she said the movie Apostate is my whole story?
Yeah, we gotta watch that movie.
Oh,
That's what I was saying. The movie
oh, okay,
Apostate
okay,
is
yeah.
her whole story. We gotta watch that because I don't think
Yeah,
I've seen it. So we gotta
yeah,
do a movie night about that. Somebody gotta remind me.
yeah.
Okay, so she says, I've had to accept that I may never have a relationship with my mother again. I've heard too many stories of XJWs whose families shunned them until the day they died. I
Mm-hmm.
pray that won't happen, but I have to leave it in God's hands.
Okay.
If sharing my story can help just one person, then
Then
it's
it's
worth it.
100%.
So many of us have suffered from shunning, and yet the word shunning isn't even mentioned in the Bible.
Oh
I
my God,
thank God I
great.
survived despite the depression, the rejection, and the pain.
Yeah,
Now I get to share with my children and others that God loves us. No conditions, no fears, and no high control organization dictating that love.
yeah.
Maybe this was God's plan all along to use my story to help others. I'm ready to do just that. Thank you for letting me share my
Oh,
story.
that was beautiful. Wow. You got a bunch of Illuminatis up in there clapping hands. Let me stop.
That's Vern. That ain't me.
I'm
That
just
ain't me.
joking. It
So.
was just a joke.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. So we're gonna wrap it up now. But thank you so much to
Um,
Doreen for
yes,
sharing her
Doreen, thank you
story.
so much. It was beautiful. I know it sometimes feels hard to share your story, but just like you said, it's worth it because if it means that it's one person is going to leave that cult because of seeing that story, then it's 100% worth it.
Exactly. Oh,
And
Doreen says update. Doreen,
oh
let us know what the update
yeah,
is.
do it. Let's do it. We got to do an update for
Tell
sure.
us in the chat. So from the point that she did this interview, there's an update. So I'm gonna wait
Oh,
until
I
Doreen
think
gives us that
I
update.
think she did mention
Don't
it.
say nothing. Don't say nothing. Let her say
Oh,
it.
okay.
Because
Yes,
I think I
yes.
know what it is too, but
I
let
think
her
I
say
know.
it.
I think I know what it is. Yes.
Doreen, come
Um.
on.
So I guess to just comment, it's exactly what she said. This cult is taking, it's literally stealing our families from us.
Uh-huh.
Um. And I think that's important to state it in that way because just to mention my family,
Mm-hmm.
every time they'll, reach out, they always complain or bring up, why are you still stuck on it? Why are you still
Right.
bringing it to pass? And the first thing I say is because that cult stole my family, and I would never give up until I make sure that my family knows the truth about their truth. Okay?
Right.
And then I would feel more comfortable if you knowingly know the truth and you choose to stay there. At that point, I can respect you for your beliefs, but at the same time, I have a lot to say and I don't agree with it, but at least you are aware and you're choosing. But it's different if you are unaware and you are blindly following. So that's why I continue to bring that up.
Right. But you see, they will never actually admit that verbally to say, you know what, you're right. And I'm going to choose to continue being a witness, whether you like it or not.
And
They're
if
never
they
going to
do
admit
at
that.
that point, then I would understand and I wouldn't bring it up again to that extent. But I like
Right.
the world is a stage is comment. You posted it already. They are stealing our families, but I replaced them all
Michelle.
with you. You guys are family now, and that's facts.
Exactly. And that's why the
Right.
extra W community is a life-saving vein. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Like, if the community didn't exist, I wouldn't be here. Like, I would not be here because there was nobody to talk to. There was nobody to ask. I mean, how many times can you go to Google search engine and Google things that a mother would tell you? You
Yep.
know? Or how many books can you read that should have been your grandmother teaching you this? Like, you know,
Yep.
old wives' tale, you know, like
Yeah.
the things that should be inherited knowledge. How many times can you get that from a book or Google? Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to work. It doesn't hit the same when you actually
Mhm.
talk to somebody. And that's why I love Joe and Fran. It's like they
Yeah.
are the grandma and
But the
grandpa
thing is, just like we mentioned, the XJW community is way bigger than the cult, right? So they
Right.
just need to find it. They need to see that they're not alone and that it's okay to question. It's okay to
Right.
know the truth. Because when you find the truth, you will have such an extended family, a bigger
Right.
family, just like, it's all of
Right.
us. They need to know that.
Exactly. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we go live every week. We bring up the server. In all of my videos, I'm like, join the server. If you're an XJW, even if you're not XJW, you're interested in this community, we welcome that. And we
Mhm.
spread the message. Okay, I think we got the update.
We did?
Doreen says, I met with my mom and she agreed after my brother and my son told her that she needed a relationship with me.
Mm.
She apologized and we talk every day now. Oh my God.
Oh my
We
goodness.
cried so much. We told each other that we missed each other. Oh,
Yeah. And I have something similar to that. So I can relate and I understand my mother asked me to go and get something to eat with her randomly. So that it's very emotional.
yeah.
It's almost a little nerve-wracking because it's like, is this really happening or is she playing games with me kind of thing? But then it's like when you're there and you're going through the experience and you're like, whoa, like she's here and we're talking and we're like, it's just like, wow, it's beautiful.
Does it feel a little awkward though? Like,
Honestly, at first, for me personally, it feels
yeah.
a little weird because it's almost like, are they like, is this real? Like, it's too good
Yeah.
to be true. Sometimes.
Yeah, like,
I mean, our family. So
yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
coming from our family, that's just how I first felt.
Like you're skeptical. You're
Yes, and
skeptical that this
even
is
like
not
even like
just
continuing the
lunch.
conversation. Right, it's not just lunch, and does she have a
Yeah.
recorder in her bag that she's trying to catch me?
Right. Like trying to catch you
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
slip
yeah.
up or something.
But you know what? I gotta live in my truth, and whether she's recording or not, she's gotta know the truth too. So I don't let that
Right.
stop me.
Right. You know, and I think that's a blessing for Doreen and for Toni that you even have the opportunity to entertain that because my mom completely ripped it off like a band-aid and she doesn't even talk to me She doesn't even look at me in my eyes. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a dehumanizing experience.
Yeah.
When the Jehovah's Witnesses take the shunning too far.
Yep.
Okay, because the other person that you're shunning is still a human at the end of the day.
Right.
And I didn't commit murder. I didn't do anything that would warrant such a negative, like,
if anything, you did everything that they wanted you to do, and you still were shunned. So
exactly. So it was like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like, what's the point of the shunning if you're gonna do it anyways? Because the person is not going to continue to live to an impossible standard.
Right.
That's why you don't shun, because nobody is perfect.
Yeah.
We cannot earn our salvation. Okay, JWs or any other Christian or whoever you are, you cannot earn anything because we are so imperfect.
Yeah.
Like, stop trying to live up to something. That's done. That's it. All you need to do is have faith. That's it. And they don't even believe in that. And that's why I'm like, you're not Christian. You're just not. All right. Well, I think we covered everything that we wanted to tonight to keep it under an hour, because we're trying to behave and stay on topic. And this comment made me laugh. Who said it? Who said it?
Was
it Michelle? I think it was Michelle. What did she say? Ay, Dios mío. Oh, right here, Michelle. She said everyone is so used to 4-hour live streams.
Oh, yeah.
And they're having withdrawals with a short show. A short and focused show. You see?
Bro.
And that's so true, because I've been going for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And you know what? If it wasn't for people saying good night, gotta go, and for Jimmy saying, all right, it's midnight. If it wasn't for that, I could keep going.
Yeah,
all right, there is potential.
We can definitely talk, yeah.
Because there's just so much to cover. You know why?
Yes.
Because we have been silenced for too long.
Right.
When you unleash that, when you get out of that mental prison, there is not you will never stop talking. You will never stop achieving.
And
you will never stop being
what
ambitious.
is so funny?
Yeah.
And this is throughout the whole 6 years of what's it called? What's the word? Deconstruction.
Or deprogramming. Yeah.
Yes, I remember the first time when I got this fellowship the first time and I came back.
Yeah.
The first thing that my dad told me was like, yo, you don't shut up. And I stood back and I looked at him and I was like, what do you mean? He goes, yo, you're yap 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 yap. Like, you shut up. And I said, damn, is there a problem with me talking? And he was
noticed. He noticed how you were different.
I've never seen this from you. And I said, interesting. I mean, it's me now. That's the new me.
Right.
So I guess get used to it. Because I have a lot more to say that you ain't ready for.
Exactly. That's how I feel. It's like I could go on and on and on and on, especially when it comes to this and my political show. These are the passions that
we're 15 minutes over.
Yes, I know. So sorry, everybody. Oh, and that was another funny comment that Wild said. Hold on.
You're still talking. It's like someone put a quarter in you, Toni.
Wait. Hold on. Before you go to that comment, this is what Wild said. He said, wait, is it over? I left the Valentine's date early so I could catch it.
Call her back. Call him.
Which one is
not over?
Which one? Well, which comment you talking about? Wild?
After.
Oh, after Wild? Michelle says, you still are talking. It's like someone put a quarter.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
oh my goodness. That was good, Michelle. You got me cackling on screen. That's a little embarrassing. Stop it.
Yeah, for real.
Stop
Mouth wide open, swinging, clapping like a seal and everything. Yep. And just like for everybody, we spoke to Michelle on Discord. You see, this is why you got to join Discord, because we talk We do movie night. We do TV show night. So I told Michelle before the show to tell us to shut the hell up and get off after an hour because this is what we do. So if you want to join our Discord server, I'll put a link.
Easier because we are family, so it's like we can.
Oh no, me and you, yes,
that's what I'm saying.
We are cousins, and I think our chemistry and like everything, it rubs, and that's a good thing. The family vibes rub off on everybody, and I was like, yo, I'm never gonna get off the stream with this girl because we gotta be ADHD or something, and we're not on medication, okay? So we could be here. Oh no! No, I'm getting off the stream. That's it. Bye. Goodbye. I'm ending the stream right now.
Bye.
Oh, wait. So one more. I forgot to tell everybody. We're gonna do another episode of Severance tonight on Discord. If there's any mods in the chat, if you could put a link, if anybody wants to join our Discord, but we'll put the link in the chat. We're gonna do a TV show night, a new episode of Severance. I've been dying since last week to watch Severance. Okay, bye. That's it.